with Ty, the dog guy on the daily, and I want to talk to you today about teaching your dog to heel. And I actually want to talk about one little specific component because it's little, but it's one I get questioned about a lot. So, the question often comes up, why do we teach the dogs to heel on the left-hand side? Because I've been teaching dogs to heel on the left side since, for 20 some odd years. And it's funny, anytime, because if someone wants to teach a dog on the right, I'll do it. But as I do it, I'm like so awkward. I'm like, wait, the dog's supposed to be over here. I always joke with people, it's like, you get accustomed to putting on your pants the same leg first every single day. Or at least I'm pretty sure almost everybody does. Do this little experiment. Tomorrow, try the other way. Like, it's just putting on pants, but it feels so weird trying to put it on the other leg first. And for me, that's the same with trying to teach a dog to heel on the right. And so the question comes up, like, why do we do it? Because a lot of people, like, as they're teaching the dog to heel, they're like, well, I heard left is actually the best way, and it's easier for the dog, and blah, blah, blah. And it's not. So let me tell you a story that I've been telling people for years, and I actually have no idea if it's true, but I tell it as if it's true, so hopefully it is. But I always tell people that healing came from, or healing on the left, came from hunters. Now, if you know different, like, let me know in comments or something. But healing came from hunters. And so the hunter shoots the bird, the shell casing ejects on the right, and so the dog goes on the left, so that the dog isn't getting hit with, these hot shells and things like that. And that's what I heard. And that's what I've been telling people for 20 years. And so, without ever once researching it, or ever once looking up to see if it was correct. Isn't that funny how sometimes we do that? Really, it doesn't matter in this case, but I wouldn't do that about an important detail. But about this detail, I've been telling people that for so long that I'm like convinced it's the absolute truth. Let me know if it's not. But like I say, that's like the old school reason why dogs were taught to heel on the left. Now, is there any reasoning for today? If you're not planning on shooting birds with your dog at your side. I still say that there is, because we get a lot of folks that want to heel the dog on the right because they say, I'm right-hand dominant, my right hand's stronger, I should be able to do it over here. And I say that's the exact reason that you shouldn't, because a lot of folks who have dogs that pull, that's why they want them on the right, because they're like, I know I'm going to need a lot of strength, let me put the dog here on the right so I can manage it. Whereas when you teach a dog to heel properly, you don't need a lot of strength, you don't need, you don't need that. But the reality is most people are right-hand dominant. I think, 13, 14% are left-handed? Never trust the lefty, right? Shifty people, am I right? But anyways, the majority of people are right-hand dominant. And so if the dog is on your left, it allows you to do things with your right. Things like, maybe there's a problem, I can grab my cell phone and call somebody while my dog's on my left. From a security standpoint, you can grab, for people that carry a weapon, they can grab a knife or a gun, if they're in a situation where, something's dangerous and they've got their dog on the left and they've got their weapon on their right. From a security standpoint, that's often how it works, if you're right-hand dominant. And then just for ease of, for convenience, like, I don't know, you're walking down the street, you run into your neighbor, your dog's on the left, your right hand's there to jot down a note, or your right hand's there to shake somebody's hand, or your right hand's there to do other things. And so, for that reason alone, I like teaching dogs to be on the left, so that the right hand remains free to do other things. And then there is the, I don't want this to sound macabre. Did I pronounce that right? Awful here, but when I'm walking down the street, I always walk on the right, on the sidewalk. That puts the dog in between me and the street. And again, I don't want this to sound awful, but in the case of a car, jumping the curb and having something in between me and the car is better. Better. And I'm laughing here because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that would say, well, I'd rather get hit than my dog get hit. and maybe I'm not a good enough person yet, but you know, I love my dogs like family, but my dogs are also, part of their job is protector. And so if they're in between the car and me and they absorb, boy, that sounds awful. I'm not going to go down that road and talk about that because it makes me sad. But anyways, there's that, you know, with the dog potentially being a protector that way. So, all that said and done, do you have to train your dog to heel on the left? No. That's the point of this video, is because people think that you have to. Now, if you're going to compete with your dog, a lot of the competitions do require the dog to be on the left. But like, if you've got a dog that's your companion, that's your buddy, that's your pet, do you have to teach that dog to walk on the left? No, you do not. There could be some benefits. They're not huge, but there could be some benefits in doing something like that. But yeah, it's not a requirement, not a necessity. If someone tells you it is, tell them they're wrong, because Ty said so.